Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 18 of Empower. I've been thinking about this thing that's called the window of tolerance. So, a window of tolerance is your ability to manage stress, and stress can be so many different things. And your window of tolerance changes based on the resources you have. So, we can't control the things that come at us from the outside, but we can control, manage the resources we have from the inside. And so turning up here is a resource. Going for a walk in the morning is a resource. My first cup of coffee in the morning, I sit on a wall and each different dog comes up and greets me and it's very sweet. Connecting to nature, my swim this morning with the gang from Furbo, all these little resources, all these little supports, connections, communities that I have around me, that bring me wellness. And then as a result, my capacity expands. So what helps you be well in your life? What cultivates a sense of well-being in you? What can you pursue that brings you wellness? It's a really good question to ask yourself. What do we have control over? What are your controllables in your life? So today is Sunday, so we're going to do a Sunday yum. It's going to be on the floor. Last Sunday, we did pigeon. I think we're going to do pigeon again. So come lie on the floor and we shall begin. As always, when you're doing my yoga, go as far as you feel comfortable, tracking your wellness based on sensations. And anything you do today shouldn't stop you doing yoga again tomorrow. So never push so hard that you are unable to turn up again tomorrow. Okay? So come. So lying on your back, your knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, and just get a sense of your body as it connects to the floor. I love wiggling a bit, really feeling deeply the contact of the floor. And then after I have a sense of all the different parts of me that are in connection or relationship to the floor, I then settle. So this concept we've been looking at of the drop. So can you create a drop here where you fall out of the outside of you, outside of your body, and you really fall into the inside of you? And find your inner escalator or elevator that's going down. And just fall into connection, deepen into connection to how does it feel to be here now? And always, no matter how I start a class, I always feel better because I moved. I always feel better because I connected. I always feel better because I listened in. And so just being aware of how you are. Awareness is this stage now. And then slowly just rock your knees from side to side. And as you rock your knees from side to side, just feel the creaky, groany wellness of you. And then reach your arms straight out into a T. And as you rock your knees from side to side, just get the feeling that your shoulder blades are glued to the floor. And as you rock, you pull the top knee down a little bit deeper, but you're not letting your shoulder lift off the floor. You're endeavoring, intending that it's the side of your ribs, the side of your waist, the deep of your hip that's moving. Nice. Moving into gliders. Draw your right knee up towards the left shoulder. It travels parallel to the floor and then come all the way back. And then the left knee up towards the right shoulder. Always when I begin this movement, I feel, the bones of me moving. So just find that in you. So the principles of longevity of movement. And longevity of movement is being able to move freely until you're 100. Okay? And so there's, I think, 2 rules, but there's one that I really like as well. A little bit of movement often, a little bit of movement in many different places. So you're not forcing any part of you to move more than anything else. You're just trying to move all of you at different stages and different ways during the class. Okay? Nice. Reach out into your fingers, reach as wide as you can, drop your arms down, and then draw both knees up towards your chest. And when I do that, I'm going to walk my shoulders and my head away from my hips because suddenly I was like, oh, to get my spine flat, I'm going to caterpillar myself away. Do that a few times. How would you make your spine incredibly long away from your hips? Oh, such an interesting turtle movement. And then roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. So the second principle, or the main principle of longevity of movement, is do no harm. So nothing you do today should stop you moving tomorrow. So doing less today so that you have continuity is really important. Begin to roll in the other direction. And just feel that. Can you sense your sensations? Can you manage your wellness as you move? Can you stay in a range of wholesomeness for your body? Rock your knees from left to right. And now again, imagine that your shoulders are glued to the floor. And how do you move your knees if your shoulders are glued to the floor? So they're not moving and they're really anchoring behind you. Nice. Now, rock your knees to the right and let your shoulder move a little bit off the floor and feel what changes in your body. So there's more engagement and stretch now through the front of my shoulder. So go carefully if you have anything going on with your shoulders. Notice how it's different as you rock and your shoulder lifts a bit. As you rock and your shoulder lifts a bit. But I'm not lifting my shoulder, I'm being lifted by the movement. So there's a connection, direction, a direction connection. So there's a sense of a gesture in our bodies. Nice. Come back to center. Pause. Stretch your legs out long. If you want, you can bring your arms overhead. And if you reach your arms overhead and one of your arms doesn't come to the floor very easily, then bend your elbow or bring your elbow a little bit more to the side. Find the place where in wellness your arms can touch the floor. And that's going to be different for all of us. So just connecting into that. Not forcing, do no harm, listening deeply to your shoulders. Find the drop, sinking backwards, really connecting backwards. Nice. So keep your legs straight and interlock your fingers straight up towards the ceiling. Okay. And my feet are mat distance apart. And I feel like my calves are really connecting to the floor. So they're actively on the floor. And my heels are stretching away from me. And I'm squeezing my bum a little bit. So I have a sense of engagement into the pelvis. Slowly, keeping your arms straight, how do you bring your left arm to the floor? And when I do this, I'm still stretching down into my heels, but the right hip has lifted a little bit off the floor, or it has been lifted by the movement. Come back to center. And then drop the right arm straight to the floor. And just breathe in, really stretching into that left leg as you feel the floor beneath you. Nice, come back to center. And just begin to rock slowly from side to side. And what I love about this is the sense of the massaging out through the back of my body. And I'm reaching my knuckles as far away from me as I can. So as I travel across my back, I feel how my ribs attach to my spine, and how my shoulder blades are gliding, and just a deep sense of the back of my rib cage. Nice. Next time you come to the left, so your left arm is flat on the floor, release your hands and then try and go a little bit further with your right hand. And then slide your right hand back to the left elbow. So now I'm sliding out with my right hand and then I'm sliding back, but I'm keeping my right hand's arm straight. Slide out and then back. And my right leg is being pulled a little bit up and then it goes back long again. So the give is all through the right side of my body. So let that happen. Let your right leg travel with you. I'm not doing anything to the right leg. It's just naturally moving. How far can you move forward? How do you move back? How do you move forward? How do you move back? One more time. Forward and back. Nice. Interlock your fingers. Come all the way back. Shimmy yourself so you feel straight. Nice. And then drop your right arm all the way down until it lands on the floor long. Release your fingers and then slide your left hand further and then your left hand back to your right elbow. Further and then back to your elbow. And I'm trying to keep my left arm straight. There is is there a bend? There's some kind of movement that happens that feels like it's bending, but it's outside of my control. So just feel that. How do you glide? If you don't have much space, you can reach with your elbow towards the hand. So I'm kind of blocked a little bit because of the screen. So I'm trying to bring my elbow down to my hand and then I glide back. And then I don't need a huge amount of extra space. One more time. Nice. Cool. Land on the floor. And just slowly draw your right knee up towards you. Squeeze it in. And then draw your left knee towards you. Squeeze it in. Nice. And then we're going to travel with our legs before we transfer over. So stretching out into your right leg and lean into the front of your hips. And then bend your knee. And then lean into the front of your hips. So you're changing from one leg to the other, but there's this moment of, it's like powerful leg movement. And then change. The way I change is both knees are together and then I extend. Both knees are together and then I extend. So the leg is always stabilized before I begin to lengthen the other leg out. Stabilize, extend, stabilize, extend. We're going to change it up. Bring your right elbow to your right knee and now you're pulling rather than, now you're engaging your abdominal muscles. Both knees up, touch the left side, extend the right. Both knees up, right side, extend the left. Left side, extend the right. Right side, extend the left. Nice, one more time. Left side, extend the right. Right side, extend the left. Nice, both feet to the floor. Pause. Nice. So bring your feet as wide as your mat. So you should feel the edges of your mat under your feet. Drop both knees down to the left and then roll over onto your left shoulder. Push your right hand down or whatever way you do this and come up into a seated position into zigzag. So zigzag is where both knees are bent and both feet are pointing towards the right. Okay. How would you sit up really tall here? Nice. Bring the left hand behind you and then look around the corner. I brought my right hand to my left knee, And I'm looking around the corner as I do this. Nice. Come back to center, but pull your right elbow back into lawnmower. So I've pulled back with the right elbow. And then left hand behind you and point your right hand backwards. Lawnmower. Traveling to the right a little bit. Left hand down. Point in whatever direction you can towards the left. I feel, yeah, it's just interesting. Only go as far as well as it's actually more comfortable for me to point directly left. So how about we go directly left rather than behind? Point directly left with the right hand and then come back. Point directly left or reach directly left. Come back. Last one. Point directly left, reach directly left, and coming up. Now come down over that right thigh. Elbows are down, belly rests down, pause. The birds are really going for it. I got into the river this morning. It's around 10 past 6 or so. And I was really trying to work out. I still haven't worked out. I have to work out. I have to go look at the thing about nautical twilight and civil twilight and what time sunrise is. I'm kind of disconnected from that right now, sunrise. But yeah, there's a lot more light in the sky at 10 past 6 than there was. I wonder what that is. Probably nautical twilight. Yes, because it's civil twilight now. It's blue. Nice. Come all the way up. Bring your left elbow down. Bring your shoulder down. Come land on the floor. Cool. So feet are as wide as your mat. Drop both feet down towards the right. Roll over onto your right shoulder. Push your right elbow down and rise all the way up. So now you're in zigzag with your feet pointing towards the left and your knees pointing towards the right. I've changed the side of the mat that I'm on so that I'm still facing you. So just twist. So actually start by getting tall. And just feel that. Always checking in with your knees when we're here, checking in with the pelvis, your lower back. Get a sense, how is all of this right now? At any stage, stretch a leg out. Okay, bring your right hand behind you and just turn and look behind you. And when I do this, I feel this length. It's like the analogy that comes to mind is I had a pot of basil in the kitchen that had dried out yesterday. So I grabbed hold of the basil and I pulled it out of the pot. So I feel at the moment like I'm pulling deeply from my belly, like I'm pulling out of my pelvis. It's a bit like a basil being pulled out of a pot. It feels very nice through the deep of my belly. Nice. Come all the way up and then pull your left elbow back. And as you do so, your chest orients towards the left. Lawnmower on the left side. And then right hand down, point directly towards the right with your left hand or reach towards the right with your left hand. Pull your elbow back. And always you're managing your wellness, reaching towards the right. And the gesture of reaching, you're trying to gauge all the different elements of the movement and bring wellness to the whole. That idea of team Ciara. So my body isn't individuals, athletes all working, like my hip isn't by itself trying to be the best hip in the world. Instead, it's a team sport through my body. So how does my hip listen to my shoulder? How do they listen and communicate together? How does my left shoulder hear my right elbow as I move, and that they connect? And I'm not in any way sacrificing any part of me. I'm having this sense of the whole of me being in connection, moving in community. So hear the whole of you and move. Nice. Now coming down over that right thigh. Down, squish. Elbows are on the floor, or your hands can be on the floor depending on your knee. Pause. Nice. Rising up, roll all the way onto your back. Pause there for a moment. Feel that through the whole of your body. What's team you saying? Did you listen? Did you attend? Did you mind those places? The whole of you moving together. Nice. Super. So roll over and come into a cat pose. And so it's a similar movement for some of you, and then it's a different movement for some of you. So draw your right knee up between your two hands. And so my right foot is behind my left hand as I do this. And either drop yourself down into zigzag and then pause there, or lengthen the left leg long. So if you're lengthening the left leg long, then your right knee needs to be really comfortable. There's a certain amount of stretch that will be happening in the hip, but your knee has to be comfortable. That's the most important bit. So either you're up on your fingertips, lengthening that left leg, or you're in zigzag, lengthening through the torso. Really, really both are very, very equal. It just depends on your body, what you choose to do. Okay? So bring both hands to the floor. I'm going to demonstrate this in zigzag to begin. Both hands to the floor, lift your bum up, and then lower down. So just rise up and down a few times. Okay? If you're in pigeon, same thing. Rise up and then down. So to rise up, you can lift the front knee off the floor when you're in pigeon. So you rise up as high as you can and just see how that is for you. Rising up, hips as high as they go, down, rise up, down. So you're going to rest down onto your elbows, over that right thigh, right knee. Again, main thing is that your knee is comfortable, so find your distance. I like lengthening the back leg, lifting the back knee off the floor in pigeon. Nice. Both knees to the floor, come back, push back, cat pose. Other side. So bring your left knee forward between your two hands and either sit into zigzag. And so you could sit into zigzag on one side and do pigeon on the other based on your knees, or stretch your back leg long. Again, main thing is that your left knee is comfortable. Rising up. Right. So hands either side of that left knee. Lift your bum. Lift your bum. Or if you're in pigeon, lift your bum and your knee will lift as well. Or whatever version of this suits you. One last time. Super. Resting down over your left thigh, settling in. If you want, you can lift your right knee, lengthening into your leg. Pause. Nice. Drop. Roll. Come to lie on your back, all the way down. Landing in. Gently rock your knees from side to side. Last little thing. Maybe stretch your legs long, shake out your legs. Just have a sense of legs long, knees are tracking back into normal order. Have a bit of a walk. Nice. Feet to the floor, pause. A little bit of movement in many different directions with the continuity of practice. Awesome. Super. Stay here or roll over onto your side and just set an intention for the day. When and slightly later and longer. Sorry, I needed to get the pigeons in. What's your intention for the day? Nice. Super duper. Stay there or slowly begin to gather yourself up. Those of you I'll see on the beach this morning, awesome job. I will see you then. Those of you who I won't, then I won't. So great. Have a wonderful day. Have a great Sunday. The garden is just exploding with life at the moment. All I want to do is weed and dig and pull and hack, and really quite cool. So have a great day. Enjoy whatever it is you're doing, resting, gardening, swimming. Resource yourself. You can control certain things in your life, and so why not? Great. Bye.